Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel, The Primordial Law. Volume 5, Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 29 466 1,000 Years of Training, A Single Day of Battle. 29th of Volume 5. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. The Moon Dragon Island outpost appeared remarkably simple, constructed from green flagstones and consisting of only a few buildings. However, Li Wei sensed intricate and profound formation scriptures woven into the ground, air, and subterranean layers, rendering the outpost utterly impregnable. Without Lu Yi's guidance, he and Tang Zan would likely never have gained entry. Behind the outpost, a dense white mist swirled and undulated, as if concealing something. Two figures emerged before Li Wei and Tang Zan, one large and one small. The smaller figure was Elder Qin, an ancient hidden one from the Zhu Li hidden sect. Elder Qin's body was gaunt, his eyes sunken deep within their sockets. His deeply wrinkled face bore a prominent sword scar. The other figure was a great immortal from the aberrant humanoid race of the Northern Territory. This being possessed a human head, a serpentine body, and a flood dragon's tail. Standing upright, it towered 6 to 7 meters tall, its scales gleaming with a metallic sheen. The cultivation path of the aberrant humanoids ultimately aimed at transformation into dragons. With each breakthrough to a major cultivation realm, they consumed the blood of different ancient immortal giant beasts, triggering a new physical transformation. This compensated for their innate deficiencies, granting them the potential to pursue higher realms and greater immortal. The higher an aberrant humanoid martial mystic cultivator's cultivation realm, the more types of ancient immortal giant beast blood they consumed. This allowed them to elevate their combat prowess to rival even those with pure immortal physiques at the same realm. If they obtained blood of sufficiently high quality from an ancient immortal giant beast, or like Yin Shi Yi, acquired mysterious powers related to the dragon, their combat strength at the same realm could even approach that of an inheritor. Senior Tuoba, you're a sentinel spirit. Tang Zan bowed respectfully to the aberrant humanoid great immortal cultivator across from him. Tuoba Dao, his human head framed by long, flowing hair, chuckled heartily. It's been 7 or 8 years since we last met in the northern nether realm, hasn't it, my boy? Shall we catch up? Most of the immortal realm giants of the Snow Sword Tang court were unaware of Tang Zan's true identity, but Tuoba Dao knew. This demonstrated the close bond between them. In Chu Prefecture City, after Elder Qin severely injured Li Wei with a single sword strike, creating the illusion that his ancestral field had been destroyed, they never saw each other again. Elder Qin walked ahead with his hands clasped behind his back, his slightly hunched posture evident. It's the season for the Sentinel Spirit Army to recruit soldiers in the Lingxiao realm, he said. You were my first recommendation. Do you know why? Li Wei shook his head slightly. Actually, Hidden 9, Yin Shi Yi, Yin Wu, and Hidden 1 are all qualified for selection, Elder Qin explained, but they don't necessarily need to join the Sentinel Spirit Army. The Zhu Li hidden sect can protect them and provide for their future cultivation needs. You, however, are different. You need the Sentinel Spirit Army as your backing. Now that it's just the two of us, let's skip the formalities and talk about practical matters. With your talent and potential, you'll inevitably reach the immortal realm and need to venture beyond this realm. The Lingxiao realm is too small a pond. If a true dragon were to emerge here, it would be spotted instantly and snatched away. The higher your cultivation, the greater the risks you'll face. Once you leave the Lingxiao realm, you'll be helpless without the unwavering support of a powerful background. Many will resort to methods beyond the rules to target you. The Sentinel Spirit Army can't protect you like a maiden in her chamber, but it can provide you with a roof over your head. It can grant you greater fairness in this unjust world, offering you the protection of established rules. We aren't imperial court nobles or direct descendants of the myriad races. Joining the army is the best way for us to protect ourselves and advance. We can access the precious resources reserved for the imperial court nobles, and we have access to Dao techniques and scriptures on par with those of the ancient myriad sects. As a member of the Sentinel Spirit Army, no one would dare treat you unfairly openly in any human nation. Even if they resorted to underhanded tactics, someone would investigate thoroughly and seek justice. Without this identity, sigh, I'm just pessimistic. I don't want anything to happen to you. I want our divine hidden one to grow strong, to become transcendent, to become the strongest in the world. Even a sliver of glory for the Zhu Li tribe would be like forging a golden body for us. Li Wei could feel Elder Qin's genuine concern and asked, what's the difference between the Sentinel Spirit Army and the Calamity Crossing Temple? I wholeheartedly supported your decision not to join the Calamity Crossing Temple. Elder Qin said, the Calamity Crossing Temple's philosophy of accepting disciples regardless of their background is commendable, but it has also created opportunities for exploitation. Over the years, its internal factions have grown complex, with various groups vying for power and influence. For instance, the Demon Kingdom faction now wields considerable influence within the temple. The survival space for pure Taoist martial mystic cultivators is shrinking. Given your innate talent, entering the Calamity Crossing Temple at that time would have been highly uncertain. Wouldn't Yaoyan be in great danger? Li Wei asked. Elder Qin replied, Yaoyan entered the temple with surging spring realm cultivation, which made a difference. By the time her extraordinary talent was revealed, she had already been accepted as a registered disciple by the abbot. With that protection, who would dare to harm her? Don't think too highly of people, nor too poorly. Most are just ordinary individuals. We all make different choices based on our pursuit of interests, reputation, cultivation, survival, dignity, and spiritual fulfillment. Interests aren't limited to narrow self-interest, they also encompass family and national interests. The pursuit of reputation isn't inherently hypocritical or negative. Who doesn't desire it? To achieve it, one must strive for excellence and exercise self-discipline. Elder Qin continued, you asked me about the difference between the Sentinel Spirit Army and the Calamity Crossing Temple. In my view, the Sentinel Spirit Army is far more pure. Because anyone who dares to join the Sentinel Spirit Army, who dares to silently dedicate themselves to the Netherworld, has already weeded out the vast majority of petty villains and those with malicious intentions. The Sentinel Spirit Army's primary recruitment principle is this spirit of righteousness and sense of responsibility. Only after that do we consider cultivation talent and other secondary qualities. The Netherworld is not the cloud heaven, Yuntian, immortal plane, nor is it the Xiaoyao capital. It lacks the pomp and circumstance, the pursuit of fame and fortune. Li Wei asked, I heard the Sentinel Spirit Army was established by the human clan's high-ranking officials. Elder Qin nodded. It was the result of deliberations among the human clan's most influential figures. Therefore, the rulers of every major nation and every living realm regularly allocate funds to secretly support the Sentinel Spirit Army. For the past 1,000 years, the Lingxiao realm's contributions have been provided by Lingxiao Palace. During the recent calamity in the Lingxiao realm, when Lord Lan began mobilizing troops, the Sentinel Spirit Army also alerted the imperial court and various sects. Of course, Lord Lan's territory borders the Lingxiao realm, so the imperial court's border patrol martial mystic cultivators could detect some anomalies themselves. The Sentinel Spirit Army's role is simply to discover problems early and issue timely warnings. Resolving those problems is not our responsibility. Strictly speaking, we have only one mission, to send out a warning 1 year, 1 month, or even 1 day in advance when a cataclysm capable of annihilating the entire human clan is brewing deep within the Netherworld. We may train soldiers for 1,000 years, only to use them for a single day. Let us hope that day never comes. Afterward, Elder Qin and Li Wei discussed the Cave Void Camp, cursed monsters, and recruitment. The Sentinel Spirit Army recruits soldiers in proportion to the population of each living realm. For the Lingxiao realm, we estimate recruiting only a dozen or 20 soldiers this time. The exact number is still under discussion. We're scouts, not fighters. We don't need large numbers. To Li Wei, this was no small number. After all, they were recruiting the most outstanding young talents. Cultivation aptitude ranked second in the recruitment criteria, demonstrating its importance. Elder Qin explained, the Sentinel Spirit Army operates on a 50-50 schedule. For example, if you serve in the Netherworld for a year, you'll have a year back in the living realm for cultivation and personal life. Of course, you must return to camp immediately upon emergency recall, regardless of where you are. Your Sentinel Spirit Army status doesn't affect your status in the living realm. In camp, we're comrades. But back in the living realm, we might draw swords against each other due to family feuds or sect rivalries. Li Wei asked, I'm curious about the human clan's high-ranking officials' attitude toward conflicts between living realms. With your current cultivation level, there's no need to dwell on such matters. If you ponder conflicts between living realms, will you then ponder conflicts between clans? Conflicts within sects. Wherever there are people, there will be conflict. The conflict in the Lingxiao realm has existed in the past, exists now, and will continue to exist in the future. Every living realm is the same, and every netherworld is the same. Elder Qin said, that's all I can tell you about the Sentinel Spirit Army. You and Tang Zan don't need to participate in the upcoming assessment. Just nod, and you can join the ranks immediately. You don't have to decide now. There's still time before the others' assessment. Think it over, and you can either come find me or report directly to the outpost. Of course, you must never reveal anything about the Sentinel Spirit Army to anyone else, not even the Hidden Lord or Old Joe. They aren't Sentinel spirits. Exposing your identity could lead to assassination by dead spirits. During their subsequent conversation, Elder Qin informed Li Wei that the Sentinel Lord of Cave Void Camp had ventured deep into the East Sea. The excavation of the ancient immortal dragon remains might involve dead spirits, so caution was paramount. Lu Yi escorted Li Wei and Tang Zan out of the outpost, leading them to the northern cliffs of Moon Dragon Island. The northern cliffs rose majestically, their sheer cliffs towering hundreds of feet high. To one side lay the tranquil sea, the moon's reflection shimmering on the water as waves crashed against the jagged rocks. To the other, the bustling sea market still pulsed with life, its thousands of lanterns casting a warm glow across the night. Lu Yi warned, it's best not to use the Lu Fengshu identity again. The Rice Palace's power below the immortal realm is far greater than you can imagine. Thank you for the reminder, Brother Lu, Li Wei replied. After parting ways, Li Wei and Tang Zan donned their nightwalker's garments and strode purposefully toward the sea market. Moon Dragon Island was neither particularly large nor small, but it drew powerful figures from all corners of the world. The night air crackled with the sound of wind being torn apart by their movements. Where is the young lord? Li Wei asked. He desperately wanted to meet Tang Wanzhou and ask her to activate the jade boat. He needed to travel beneath the Fusong divine tree to collect extreme dawn light dew, hoping to break through to become an 8-star spiritual master. With his current cultivation level, Li Wei couldn't pilot the jade boat back to the blood mud space before the golden crow rose from the sea. Tang Zan said, the young lord is preparing for the commander's banquet. What commander's banquet? Li Wei asked. Don't you know? Tang Zan replied. During this resource competition, the young lord led the younger generation of the Lingxiao realm. She has sole authority over all matters below the great immortal realm. The commander's banquet is a gathering of the realm's heroes to coordinate specific plans for the future. For example, how to respond to the Western monster race's retaliation. Or how to absorb more six-clawed immortal dragon chi from the narrow space between the Rice Palace and the Calamity Crossing Temple. Even Tang Zan, a divine hidden one with unparalleled talent, couldn't hide his admiration. No matter how the living realm's factions clash internally, in critical moments, the transcendent ones must rely on the young lord. In terms of wisdom and martial mystic prowess, only she is fit for such a great responsibility. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5. Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 30 467 Sea Market. 30th of Volume 5. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. Li Wei had a clear understanding of the current situation in the Lingxiao realm. Zhenhai Guanwu had killed too ruthlessly, and fearing retaliation from the Western monster race and the Demon Kingdom, the third palace master had led the Lingxiao Palace's elite forces to withdraw from the Cloud Heaven Yuntian Immortal Plane and go into hiding. Order in Lingxiao City and the Cloud Heaven Yuntian Immortal Plane was now maintained by the Snow Sword Tang Court. Tang Wanzhou's pre-war strategies and arrangements had proven entirely correct, allowing the Snow Sword Tang Court to reap the greatest benefits and prestige, its influence reaching unprecedented heights. The Lingxiao Palace had effectively lost the people's support due to the Shoutian Edict, the Mother-Child Spring, and the Second Palace Master's actions. Zhenhai Guanwu's victory in the Cloud Heaven Yuntian Immortal Plane battle had merely softened public resentment toward the Lingxiao Palace. Until Zhenhai Guanwu and Yu Yaozi possessed the strength to confront the Flying Phoenix and the Demon Kingdom, the Lingxiao Palace could never reclaim its position as lord of the Lingxiao realm. With both the Mist Celestial and the Grand Palace Mistress missing, the Lingxiao realm could not remain without leadership indefinitely. If the Snow Sword Tang Court could seize this opportunity to win the people's hearts and become the universally desired leader, anything would be possible. Li Wei sighed inwardly. It seemed he couldn't rely on Tang Wanzhou for the time being. Traveling to the Fusong Divine Tree and back would take at least a full day. Given Tang Wanzhou's current status, she was required to oversee the sea market on Moondragon Island. It would be a miracle if she could find a way to leave. Tang Zan asked, what realm your psychic power has reached? 8-star spiritual master, Li Wei replied. He wasn't distrustful of Tang Zan, but he preferred to keep a low profile. Tang Zan urged, hurry and break through to 9-star spiritual master. Once you succeed, we'll have another pillar-like expert below the immortal realm of the Lingxiao realm. Above the immortal realm, there's the young lord. Below it, we need someone to hold the line. Aren't you enough? Li Wei countered. Tang Zan sighed, how many can I handle alone? Breaking through is easier said than done, Li Wei lamented. Tang Zan mentioned, I heard someone from Calamity Crossing Temple is selling true spiritual pills at the sea market. True spiritual pills. Is it real or fake? Li Wei's interest peaked. Radiant Flame pills were low-grade spiritual pills, while Star spiritual pills were high-grade spiritual pills. True spiritual pills, however, were top-grade spiritual pills, priced at over 1 million Yongquan coins and often unavailable at any price. Tang Zan scoffed, what's so special about true spiritual pills? With Calamity Crossing Temple's resources, even low-grade spiritual pills wouldn't be surprising. Li Wei secretly resolved to try his luck at the sea market. If he could acquire a few true spiritual pills, he might actually break through to 8-star spiritual master soon. As they approached the sea market, the sounds of human voices and beast roars grew clearer. What did you decide? Li Wei asked, curious about Tang Zan's conversation with Tuo Badao. Tang Zan gazed at the lights flickering behind the layers of forest foliage. The mortal world stretches 3,000 feet, yet its glories vanish in the blink of an eye. A man born into this world should wield a 3-foot sword, settling debts of gratitude and vengeance for 300 years, and striving for dominion over 30,000 miles of land. Who wouldn't cherish life? Li Wei understood his friend's ambition and chuckled, 300 years isn't enough. With your talent, aim for 3,000. You must strive for such immortality. 3,000 years. You dare to dream so big. How many have been blocked on the path to immortal realm? 7 shackles of immortal realm, each of them are a life or death trial. Such excessive ambition only brings more suffering. Tang Zan gazed at the vast sky, reaching out with an empty hand toward the bright moon. His eyes burned with longing. How could he not yearn for the transcendent realm? Yet while Divine Hidden One appeared every 60-year cycle, Transcendence emerged only once every 1,000 years. His decision to join the Sentinel Spirit Army stemmed from knowing that only there would he have a greater chance. The ideals in his heart and the goals of his life had guided him to this path. After parting ways with Tang Zan, Li Wei used the transformation technique to alter his appearance and enter the sea market. Since he was passing through, he might as well search. The Moon Dragon Island Sea Market was built along the coast, with over a dozen rivers carving the land into hundreds of islands of varying sizes. The smallest islands were only a few yards across, just enough for a single stall. The larger islands boasted hundreds of buildings, with towering fortresses stacked upon each other. Stone steps teemed with crowds like surging tides. Some merchants also set up shop on boats, plying the waterways and hawking their wares. Li Wei rented a small boat and scanned the stalls lining the canals, carefully examining each item. It had to be said, the Moon Dragon Island Sea Market truly offered a wealth of treasures: Millennium Essence herbs, 100-character artifacts, dragon scales, immortal bones. The sheer variety was dazzling. However, ordinary Millennium Essence herbs were merely sustenance for the 7 little ones. Only essence herbs aged 4,000 years or more could enable them to break through to the 7th heaven. The immortal bone is genuine, but it lacks golden essence bone marrow, Li Wei murmured, mooring his boat near a reef the size of a small island. He examined a 5-meter-long golden bone displayed on a stall, shaking his head in disappointment. The stall owner, a hippopotamus demon from the Eastern Sea Monster clan, had already assumed a humanoid form, with legs and arms, standing tall and stout. Yet he retained his hippopotamus head, with its massive jaws and tiny ears. Golden essence bone marrow is incredibly rare and expensive, the hippopotamus demon said, sitting cross-legged with his arms folded across his chest, his voice booming from his wide-open mouth. His expression remained hidden, only the opening and closing of his jaws visible. Losing interest, Li Wei instructed the boatman to move on. He planned to acquire golden essence bone marrow through the Zhu Li clan and the hidden sect. During the Lingxiao Life Realm War, the hidden ancestor emerged, summoning subterranean insect swarms to overwhelm the rice corps. As a result of the conflict, both the Zhu Li clan and the Zhu Li hidden sect would undoubtedly receive a substantial share of the spoils. It was even possible they had acquired transcendence flesh and bones. Wouldn't transcendent golden essence bone marrow be far easier to absorb? Wait a minute. You didn't even ask if I have any golden essence bone marrow before leaving. In business, you need to ask more questions. The best treasures are never displayed openly. Show me some of your capabilities first, and I'll decide what level of goods I can show you. The hippopotamus demon blocked Li Wei's boat. Li Wei casually asked, do you have any essence herbs that's 4,000 years old? Yes, the hippopotamus demon replied. Surprised, Li Wei ordered the boatman to stop. 5,000 years old. Do you have that too? Yes. 6,000 years old. Yes. One stock cost 60 million Xuanhuan coins or 60 top-grade blood crystals, the hippopotamus demon stated. Li Wei regained his composure. It's not that I can't afford it, but there's no need. How about millennium essence herbs? T.N. 1 millennium equals 1,000 years. 70,000 Xuanhuan coins per stock. Much cheaper than what you humans charge in your life realms, right? The hippopotamus demon said. The price of essence herbs increases exponentially with each additional millennium of age. Li Wei knew he was being looked down upon. He discreetly pulled out a top-grade blood crystal and showed it to the hippopotamus demon. If a 4,000-year-old essence herb were this cheap, I might consider buying one. The hippopotamus demon's eyes widened at the sight of the top-grade blood crystal, his pupils gleaming. There are too many people and demons here. Shall we move to a more private location for this transaction? Li Wei replied, I find this location perfectly suitable. You wouldn't happen to be unable to produce the goods, would you? You underestimate me. The hippopotamus demon retorted, Master Ma's reputation among the demon race is impeccable. We value integrity above all else. Young man, I'm only concerned for your safety. Carrying a 4,000-year-old essence herb will surely attract unwanted attention. Ah, well, you can't reason with a fool. A golden vine belt encircled the hippopotamus demon's bulging belly. 7 cosmic pouches hung from the belt, each pouch a symbol of power. The hippopotamus demon extended his massive hand, reaching into one of the cosmic pouches. He withdrew a wisp of azure light and swiftly handed it to Li Wei. Within the azure light lay an essence herb resembling a bamboo stalk, only 2 feet long and as thick as a finger. It had 9 crystalline segments, translucent as jade, with swirling white streaks flowing within. The hippopotamus demon's demonic chi enveloped the herb, preventing its fragrance from escaping. You actually have it? Li Wei asked, his voice a mix of surprise and delight. He eagerly accepted the herb, examining it closely and sensing its energy. 9 tribulation bamboo, already undergone 4 tribulations. It's indeed 4,000 years old. 4,400 years old, to be precise. I acquired it from the Dao domain of Old Yu Prefecture City. I'll sell it to you at the price of a 4,000-year-old essence herb, 5 million Xuanhuan coins or 5 top-grade blood crystals. The hippopotamus demon glanced around, noticing several gazes turning their way. So cheap? Li Wei asked, wary of a potential trap. Normally, a 4,400-year-old essence herb would cost 7 to 8 million Xuanhuan coins. The hippopotamus demon remained patient. Essence herbs are naturally cheaper at the sea market than in your human realm. Plus, the recent widespread attacks on Ghost City Corp's palaces across the southeast Nether Realm have flooded the market, driving prices down significantly. Master Ma here runs an honest business. My reputation extends from the demon race all the way to your human realm. Making business easy for everyone. Li Wei suggested. The hippopotamus demon's eyes lit up. That's a good slogan. The medicine is genuine, Li Wei confirmed after careful inspection. Can I trade for it with a spiritual artifact? Spiritual artifacts are great, they fetch high prices among the demon race. Are you sure you want to trade here? The hippopotamus demon asked again. Li Wei had long noticed the numerous gazes fixed on them, but he remained unfazed. The sea market was maintained by the demon race, ensuring order, no one dared cause trouble. I'll just change my appearance after leaving the sea market, he thought. Li Wei retrieved a 7th-grade 100-character artifact spear and handed it over. The hippopotamus demon channeled demonic chi into the spear, examining it closely. He was secretly astonished. This item. Its origins are suspicious. It's a standard-issue spear from the Demon Kingdom's army. Moreover, only the kingdom's elite troops would possess such a weapon. Not interested. Li Wei asked. I'll take it, the hippopotamus demon replied. Master Ma never turns down goods. But for black market items, the price will be lower. I can only offer you 1 million Xuanhuan coins for this spear. A fair price. Li Wei then produced 4 more identical spears, piling them noisily beside the stall. The hippopotamus demon froze, then swiftly stowed all 5 spears into his cosmic pouch without questioning their origin. Brother, you've got some serious connections. I have plenty of treasures here, interested in buying more. He transmitted his voice in a low whisper. I even have transcendent golden essence bone marrow. Transcendent golden essence bone marrow would undoubtedly be astronomically expensive. Finding the hidden lord would be a different story. First, the Julie hidden sect would cover half the cost. Second, given his contributions in Lingxiao City, he might even obtain it for free. Li Wei had secretly hoped to probe the hippopotamus demon for Millennium Essence herbs, but their exorbitant value, given his current cultivation level, made him hesitant to risk it. Do you have the true spiritual pill? Li Wei asked. The hippopotamus demon wore a troubled expression. The demon race isn't skilled in pill refinement. But I've heard someone from the Calamity Crossing Temple is selling them. A commotion erupted on the water's surface. A magnificent 4-tiered spiritual artifact ship approached the sea market's entrance, its hull shimmering with layers of formation light veils. Every deck was adorned with glowing lanterns, and countless strange birds and colorful birds accompanied the vessel, their harmonious cries filling the air. The young prodigies of the Western monster race have arrived. Princess Dengfeng of the Eastern Sea Monster Clan and Prince Mingzhao of the Underworld Dragon Clan have also graced us with their presence. The demon race is flexing its muscles, uniting to counter the pressure from the Rice Palace and Calamity Crossing Temple. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5. Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 31 468 Innate Dao Spirit. 31st of Volume 5. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. Though the East Sea was an inland sea, it was vast and mysterious, stretching over 90,000 li from south to north, earning it the title, 10,000 li lake. Through the 36 major rivers that flowed into it, the East Sea exerted its influence over the surrounding lands. For example, the Huang River system, one of the 36 river demon factions, looked to the East Sea Demon clan for leadership. This immense demonic power, combined with the sea's abundant resources and endless treasures, made the East Sea a realm of unparalleled wealth. 10,000 years ago, during Wuxia's reign, the East Sea reached the zenith of its glory. In southern Yingzhou, it commanded both human and demon clans, as well as dead spirits, none daring to defy its authority. Ironically, 3,000 years after the Zhenhai Guanwu slew the flying dragon, the East Sea had never again produced a demon emperor or monster empress. Internal strife among its 100 clans had extinguished its former glory. Only in recent centuries, with the emergence of powerful figures from both the Water Mother Jellyfish clan and the Zhao Flood Dragon clan, whose strength far surpassed ordinary transcendent beings, did the internal chaos finally end. These leaders subdued all factions, unifying the northern and southern regions of the sea under their respective banners. The Zhao Flood Dragon clan, a branch of the Dragon clan, ruled over all flood dragon pythons, flood dragons, and aquatic demonic beasts capable of transforming into dragons. They were considered the foremost noble lineage. The flood dragon python clan possessed immense power, each member comparable to a giant of the human clan's immortal realm. With such overwhelming strength, they crushed all opposition and established their dominance through sheer force. The formidable flood dragon python encountered by Li Wei and Shanjing aboard the ship was a prime example of their power. The Water Mother clan, on the other hand, adopted a different approach. Lacking the Flood Dragon clan's raw power, they forged alliances with various aquatic tribes and actively recruited river demons from the land. Over half of the 36 river demon factions had sworn allegiance to their banner. The remaining factions were primarily located within the Flood Dragon clan's sphere of influence, suppressed by their hegemonic rule. Otherwise, they would have undoubtedly joined the Water Mother clan, drawn by their more conciliatory methods. At that moment, on the water's surface 100 zhang away, illuminated by lantern light, Princess Dengfeng and Prince Mingzhao, who had been locked in mortal combat moments before, now stood on the deck in human form, laughing and chatting amicably, their past animosity completely forgotten. Princess Dengfeng remained a translucent humanoid silhouette, her white robes fluttering and dark hair swaying, her ethereal beauty as delicate as a painting. Prince Mingzhao, clad in black armor, stood 8 kai tall with a majestic physique. He bore a pair of flood dragon ears, his eyes burned like torches, and his every breath stirred the wind and clouds above. His body, forged like divine iron, radiated an unparalleled aura of power. With just a glance from afar, Li Wei could tell that Prince Mingzhao's physical body had been cultivated to at least 70 to 80% of the strength of an immortal body, possibly even higher. The Flood Dragon clan inherently possessed an advantage in physical body cultivation. Moreover, given his status, he would have access to the finest body refinement resources. As the most formidable expert below the immortal realm, he drew countless gazes of reverence and fear from the shore. Some lesser demons even knelt in worship across the water. The human martial mystic cultivators instinctively retreated, quickly distancing themselves. Standing beside Princess Dengfeng and Prince Mingzhao was a graceful young man, dressed in simple, elegant robes. His refined demeanor and scholarly air were evident, though his face remained obscured by mist. When he cast a glance toward the sea market, an invisible chill instantly permeated the air. Sizzle. A layer of frost formed on every stall. Li Wei knew the man couldn't possibly have noticed him, yet he felt an eerie sensation of being watched. Every creature in the sea market shared this feeling. Their hearts raced, and some were so frightened they packed up their stalls and fled. Such terrifying cultivation. Is that an immortal realm demon? Li Wei murmured. The hippopotamus demon beside him shook his head gently. If it were the immortal realm, Princess Dengfeng and Prince Mingzhao wouldn't be the ones receiving him. Those are ice soul eyes. Ah, if you want information, you'll have to pay. Li Wei's curiosity was piqued by the mention of ice soul. What's your pricing? For information below the immortal realm, one question costs 100,000 Yongquan coins, the hippopotamus demon replied. Goodbye, Li Wei said, turning to leave. The hippopotamus demon grabbed his arm. Hold on. For a high-quality customer like you, I'll give you 3 pieces of information for free. Remember to come to Master Ma next time you need something. Master Ma is a man of principle, Li Wei said, his expression shifting to admiration. If you keep doing business like this, you'll surpass Thousand Mile Mountain sooner or later. Li Wei was skilled at changing his expression. He adopted an impressed look, then asked with a smile, what are these ice soul eyes? It's one of the white phoenix's innate Dao techniques among the 5 phoenixes. Of course, the red, azure, and violet phoenixes are dead now, leaving only the white and gold phoenixes, the hippopotamus demon explained. Li Wei asked, does that mean the young man is a descendant of the white phoenix? Bai Yeqing, son of the white phoenix, possessed unparalleled innate talent. He was born with all his acupoints open, and each month thereafter, he opened one sea, reaching 5 seas by his 5th month. By his first birthday, he had already attained the Dao seed realm cultivation, earning the title, innate Dao spirit. Li Wei stared in disbelief, astonished that such an extraordinary being could exist. What exactly is an innate Dao spirit? He asked. The embodiment of the great Dao's spiritual essence, molded by heaven and earth with a supreme foundation. They need not laboriously break through springs and open seas themselves. However, it's not entirely the work of heaven and earth alone. The hippopotamus demon paused. Then what else? Li Wei pressed. That's your 4th question. The hippopotamus demon declared. Li Wei froze for a moment, secretly gritting his teeth as he suppressed his burning curiosity. He turned to leave. Half price, the hippopotamus demon called out, grabbing Li Wei's boat. Set sail. Set sail. Li Wei urged. 1/10 of the price, the hippopotamus demon countered. Li Wei hesitated. Now that he was flush with wealth, 10,000 Yongquan coins seemed a trivial sum. Half price, just to make a friend, the hippopotamus demon said. Li Wei reluctantly pulled out 5,000 Yongquan coins, shifting them back and forth several times before painfully handing them over. If it weren't for Bai Yeqing's ice soul eyes, reminding him of Yaoyan's jade-shattering ice soul physique, he would never have wasted this money. After receiving the coins, the hippopotamus demon beamed, his smile radiating warmth. Bai Yeqing's father is White Phoenix. His mother's lineage is even more extraordinary. His innate Dao spirit potential is partly due to her sacrifices during his gestation. You see, for powerful beings, especially mothers, giving birth is like losing a piece of their own flesh, a creation nurtured by their very blood qi. For example, a child born to a transcendent mother has a physical body forged from transcendent blood qi and a soul spirit nourished by transcendent cultivation. How could a child born to ordinary beings ever compare? Li Wei nodded thoughtfully. A fetus infused with transcendent blood must have an unimaginably strong physical body and a terrifyingly robust soul spirit. Exactly. Being born into the right circumstances is more crucial than any innate talent. The hippopotamus demon abruptly changed the subject. Of course, childbirth drains a mother's blood qi and cultivation power immensely. That's why male transcendent beings often have numerous offspring, while female transcendent beings rarely have more than a handful. The hippopotamus demon's gaze locked intently on Li Wei. Li Wei knew exactly what it was waiting for. He was indeed curious about Bai Yeqing's mother, but buying the information would mean falling into the hippopotamus demon's carefully laid trap. 5th question, he said, what's the price? The hippopotamus demon's eyes lit up. 10% off. 10,000 Yongquan coins. As expected, the price keeps rising, Li Wei thought. He produced 10,000 Yongquan coins and handed them over, then fixed his gaze on the distant spiritual artifact warships. Bai Yeqing's cultivation is extraordinary, and his lineage is so prestigious that Prince Mingzhao himself came to greet him in his true form. Why did Princess Dengfeng send only a humanoid avatar? All 3 were leaders of the younger generation. The other 2 had arrived in their true forms, while she sent only an avatar. Clearly, she didn't consider this matter important enough to warrant her full attention, treating it as a mere formality to show her presence. That question will cost you more than 10,000 Yongquan coins, the hippopotamus demon said. Li Wei asked, in business, what's most important? The hippopotamus demon slapped his forehead and sighed deeply, realizing he dug a pit for someone else only to fall into it himself. Fine, I'll admit it. At least there's some profit to be made. The Western monster race was invited by the Flood Dragon clan, and their relationship has been strong since the Yujia era. The Flood Dragon clan is obsessed with excavating the ancient immortal dragon remains because the Nether Flood Dragon King might use this opportunity to break through his final cultivation realm and transform into the Nether Dragon Demon Emperor. This is the outcome the Water Mother clan fears most. High-level power struggles naturally affect the younger generation. Yet, in the younger generation's competition, the Demon Clan must cooperate in 3 factions to contend with the Rice Palace and Calamity Crossing Temple and secure greater benefits. This is why Princess Dengfeng is so conflicted. Li Wei suddenly understood, feeling this information was well worth the price. Without understanding the Demon Clan's internal cooperation and competition, it would be impossible to see the full picture. More importantly, the Nether Flood Dragon King's cultivation was already nearing that of the martial mystic Dao Heavenly Emperor. If this information was true, its value would skyrocket. But whether it was true or false didn't matter, it only cost 10,000 Yongquan coins anyway. Worth it, right? Master Ma's business philosophy is all about win-win, the hippopotamus demon said. He continued, interested in the upcoming opportunity with the ancient immortal dragon remains. What do you mean? Li Wei asked, curious. Buy a position. The hippopotamus demon explained, the closer you are to the front, the more 6-clawed immortal dragon chi you can absorb, increasing your chances of seizing the opportunity. Plus, it guarantees your safety. Your Lingxiao Life Realm and Immortal Realm cultivators are too weak. None of you can stand alone, you'll have to follow behind the Calamity Crossing Temple. What can you possibly absorb then? You might end up with nothing at all. Besides, only martial mystic cultivators from the Zuaoqiu clan's faction can follow the Calamity Crossing Temple. Cultivators from other factions will be relegated to the back. After the Flood Dragon clan brought in the Western monster race, the Calamity Crossing Temple has become the weakest player in this three-way game, at least among those below the Immortal Realm. Even they might struggle to reach the front. Now that the demon child had broken through to Immortal Realm, it remained uncertain whether the Calamity Crossing Temple had anyone in the Dao Seed Realm's ninth heaven capable of contending with the Rice Palace's two great true disciples and the demon clan's three leaders. You can buy positions. Li Wei asked. The hippopotamus demon lowered his voice. To be honest, I have two grandnephews, both top-tier powerhouses among the younger generation. They rank within the top 10, no, top 5, under Princess Dengfeng's command. Traveling with them guarantees you'll be at the forefront. Spaces are limited, and the highest bidder wins. Just this much. He leaned closer to Li Wei and secretly held up 2 fingers. 2 million Yongquan coins. Li Wei guessed, aiming high. The hippopotamus demon rolled his eyes. 20 million Yongquan coins. This is a chance to break through to the Immortal Realm. Those old geezers nearing the end of their lifespans would sell their entire fortunes for a spot. Li Wei gasped. Even he was tempted by this business, wishing he could immediately break through to the ninth heaven and start selling escort slots himself. As expected, killing people doesn't make you money like helping them does. And this is righteous money, earned by saving those in need. Master Ma, how's the essence herbs we left with you selling? The water beaver immortal's voice drifted across the water. The hippopotamus demon pointed to the water beaver immortal and Crown Prince Ba on the distant boat, immediately introducing them. See. Those are my 2 grandnephews, the dragons and phoenixes among demons, Princess Dengfeng's favored red demons. The boat, leaving ripples in its wake, slowly approached the stall from over 60 meters away. Water beaver immortal and Crown Prince Ba stood at the bow of the ship. A beaver and a capybara. Ali, Ba, and Master Ma, Li Wei murmured, taking another sharp breath. This business team looked incredibly reliable, even he couldn't resist the urge to invest. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel, The Primordial Law. Volume 5, Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 32 469 The Three Great Powers of the Hidden Sect. 32nd of Volume 5. Translator, Shadow Knight AK. Editor, Shadow Knight AK. Sensing the presence of Water Beaver Immortal and Crown Prince Ba on the passing barge, Li Wei immediately excused himself and departed, detecting an extraordinary aura emanating from the cabin behind him. Consider it carefully, the hippopotamus demon said, waving goodbye. There are only 10 spots available, first come, first served. After Li Wei left, the hippopotamus demon turned to Water Beaver Immortal and Crown Prince Ba, whose barge was now passing by. All the essence herbs you entrusted to me has been distributed to various stalls for sale. Moreover, everyone is selling now, flooding the market, so prices won't stay high for long. Should we lower the price for the opportunity slots? 20 million Yongquan coins is too steep, it's scaring away potential buyers. Water Beaver Immortal immediately gestured for silence, shaking his head vigorously at the hippopotamus demon. From the cabin behind them, a melodious female voice called out, what do you mean by opportunity slots? What a bizarre sensation. Even the earth tome within my divine gate is resonating. Li Wei quickly distanced himself from the sea market, constantly seeking opportunities to alter his appearance. He suspected that Princess Dengfeng's true form was likely within the ship's cabin. I wonder if she sensed anything. With this thought, Li Wei immediately withdrew the earth tome into his blood mud space. He arrived at a mansion on the southern outskirts of the sea market's residential district. Only after spotting the hidden sect's emblem carved above the gate did Li Wei knock. Yao Qingshan ushered Li Wei into the mansion, which was protected by a defensive formation. Lush, broad-leaved plants thrived within, and a gentle stream flowed beneath small bridges connecting 6 or 7 wooden pavilions, creating an atmosphere of profound tranquility. The entire Moon Dragon Island sea market, including the ships in the harbor, was teeming with people. Yet within these walls, an eerie stillness prevailed. This mansion is one of Elder Qin's properties, Yao Qingshan explained. It currently serves as a temporary gathering place for the hidden ones. Elder Qin owns properties all over the life realm. Impressive. Li Wei mused inwardly, wondering if the Sentinel Spirit Army had some special means of generating wealth. The Diligent Garden in Chu Prefecture City had also been one of Elder Qin's properties. The old man risks his life for the Sentinel Spirit Army, and the properties just keep piling up. Normal martial mystic cultivators typically prioritize cultivating resources first. Only those with inexhaustible wealth would consider acquiring such material possessions. Master. Yuer rushed over and hugged Li Wei around the waist, her eyes slightly red-rimmed. The little girl had been worried sick all night, torn between hope and despair. Seeing Li Wei return safe and sound, she was overjoyed. Yuer, have you been crying? Li Wei gently stroked her cheek. She shook her head vigorously. Yuer didn't cry, but master, you can't leave me like that again. I was so worried. All right. Li Wei turned to Ku Di, who was approaching. Ku Di bowed deeply. I'm sorry. I never imagined I would become a burden. Li Wei, I will repay today's kindness and settle our past grievances. Li Wei waved dismissively. He hadn't saved her for her sake, but out of his own guilt. Remembering something, he asked, Miss Ku, do you know the identity of the Zhu Li clan leader who submitted to Coffin Mountain? Ku Di replied, during my time at Coffin Mountain, the only Zhu Li clan leader I met was Li Songjian of the Kandli tribe. He was Shu Fodu's man. That's all I needed to know. You should rest now. Li Wei said. Ku Di sensed that Li Wei and Yao Qingshan had important matters to discuss and tactfully withdrew. Yao Qingshan stood beneath the moonlight, her figure and its shadow forming two beautiful, distinct paintings. Li Songjian died in the Huang River. Tracing this matter further will be as difficult as climbing to the heavens. I killed him, Li Wei said. A flicker of surprise crossed Yao Qingshan's eyes. Li Wei, cradling Yuer, sat on a stone bench and soothed her. I want to see the Hidden Lord. He's worried about your safety and chased after you into the deep sea. By now, he should be returning, Yao Qingshan replied. Was it wise to bring Ku Di here? Li Wei asked. Do you think she can still return to the Twin Rice sect? Yao Qingshan asked, her voice heavy with concern as she stood with her back to Li Wei. Years ago, I faked my death to join the Twin Rice sect. In truth, I had no choice but to die. Hall Master and took pity on me and sheltered me. Because the Twin Rice sect knew I had to die and that I couldn't return to the Zhu Li clan, they trusted me completely. I owe Hall Master a great debt. So, you don't need to worry about Ku Di. I'll arrange a way out for her and provide the necessary protection. Intrigued by her past, Li Wei couldn't resist asking, why did you have to die back then? You don't need to know, Yao Qingshan's tone turned cold. Li Wei continued, earlier at the sea market, I met a peerless young expert from the western monster race named Bai Yecheng. He's said to be the son of the White Phoenix, an innate Dao spirit. So what if he's an innate Dao spirit? Yao Qingshan said, his cultivation foundation only reached the level of a young celestial emperor in the Dao seed realm. He might not even surpass you and Yaoan. Whether he can maintain that level in the immortal realm remains to be seen. Without the ancient sect's true disciple status and their full resources, he'll likely fall behind. Yao Qingshan added, besides, a true innate Dao spirit would have already shattered the 9 springs and opened the 5 seas at birth. Sensing the emotion in her tone, Li Wei dared not probe further and fell silent. After a long silence, Yao Qingshan asked, Li Wei, how soon can you break through? With your current cultivation, you're still behind the inheritor of the 9th heaven. What's wrong? Li Wei asked. You're a divine hidden nay, Yao Qingshan said, you need to protect Yaoan. She's hidden 26. The Calamity Crossing Temple is full of experts, Li Wei replied, she's the Temple Master's registered disciple. Why would she need my protection? The Calamity Crossing Temple's strength rivals the Rice Palace, but they currently lack dominance below the Immortal Realm, putting them in a weaker position. The Hidden Lord's voice echoed through the corridor as he strode over, asking with concern, how badly are you injured? The Hidden Lord wore a Nightwalker's garment and a metal mask. Li Wei shrugged. Just a minor injury. Nothing to worry about. Impressive, Hidden Lord said, you held your own against Changji Daozi. But you were too reckless. Why did you have to learn from her of all people? You're a divine hidden one. Divine hidden one prioritize caution and reason above all else. Hidden Lord shot Yao Qingshan a cold glance. If he had known she would use the Peachwood staff for such a purpose, he would have stopped her immediately. No wonder you were absent during the battle at Lingxiao City, Yao Qingshan retorted, hiding in the Nether Realm, certainly safe and prudent. Hiding on purpose. Hidden Lord snapped, do you even realize how severely I was injured? Do you know how formidable Yang Shenjing is? I'm lucky to be alive. Gentlemen, is this really worth arguing over? Li Wei interjected, fearing their ideological clash would escalate. He quickly steered the conversation back to business, I still need to borrow the Peachwood staff. Also, I require golden essence bone marrow, preferably of the transcendent grade. The closer the golden bone approached completion, the more difficult it became to cultivate. As a divine hidden one with his current cultivation level, Li Wei now stood on equal footing with Yao Qingshan and Hidden Lord. He could be considered one of the 3 great powers of the hidden sect, second only to the ancient hidden ones. During their earlier confrontation at sea, Hidden Lord had already noticed Li Wei's remarkably strengthened physique. Curious, he asked, what level of physical cultivation have you reached? 50% of the immortal body's strength, Li Wei replied. No wonder you could withstand a third-layer great technique from Chongji Daozi without suffering serious injury, the Hidden Lord exclaimed, his eyes shining with admiration. The great deeds you and the Zhu Li hidden sect accomplished in Lingxiao City have already spread throughout the world. The Zhu Li clan now holds its head high in the Lingxiao realm. Just mentioning the Zhu Li hidden sect earns you a thumbs up from anyone. After the battle, the Zhu Li clan received a portion of transcendent flesh, and you're certainly entitled to some golden essence bone marrow. I happen to have some with me. I was originally planning to use it myself, but you can have it first. If it's not enough, this sovereign will get more. Li Wei accepted a jade bottle of transcendent golden essence bone marrow from the Hidden Lord. The jade bottle felt scalding hot to the touch. When he opened the lid, a scorching energy surged out, almost like molten lava. This golden essence bone marrow was many times more potent than the kind extracted from immortal bones that had lost much of their secret energy. Suppressing his inner joy, Li Wei continued, I heard that all the major powers reaped great rewards from the attack on the southeast Nether Realm, especially Millennium Essence herbs. The Hidden Lord, overjoyed at the news of Li Wei's survival, quickly replied, don't worry. Knowing you need to feed those 7 rare insects, we've reserved a substantial supply of Millennium Essence herbs for you. I personally requested them from the clan chiefs of the 9 great tribes, it's your rightful reward. From now on, the Zhu Li clan will provide a portion of the resources for feeding your insects. The elders of the 9 great tribes and the Zhu Li Divine Temple are eager to meet you. Many clan experts are still searching for you in the Nether Realm. Wei Yi, the Zhu Li clan is your home now. You'll have access to the same resources as Kang Li and Yaoyan, and even more will be provided for you. Li Wei chuckled wryly, Hidden Lord, are you afraid I'll run away? Having learned shocking truths from Master Coffin and some hidden ones, the Hidden Lord genuinely feared Li Wei might flee. Li Wei always repaid kindness tenfold. He retrieved a governor's robe and official seal from his cosmic pouch. The upcoming competition for opportunities will likely be dangerous. I've been saving this set for you, old man. The Hidden Lord, fully aware of the governor's robe and official seal's value, felt his eyes redden. Kang Li has never given me such a precious gift. Wei Yi, Li Ling is growing up too. Hidden Lord, I'm engaged. I have a fiancé. And I'm also married. You must warn the Hidden Ones to keep the marriage a secret, Li Wei said. It would indeed be difficult to explain to the Zhuoqiu sect. The Hidden Lord sighed inwardly. He had heard about the matter but hadn't considered Zhenhai Guanwu's involvement. Mainly, he dared not entertain such a preposterous notion. Li Wei said, I heard someone at Calamity Crossing Temple is selling true spiritual pills. Could you contact Yaoyan, Kang Li, or Hidden Nine to investigate? If I break through another realm, I'll have a much greater advantage in the upcoming competition for opportunities. The Hidden Lord's heart stirred. Are you confident you can advance your psychic power to the next level soon? With the time cocoon, Li Wei was certain. He nodded. If you break through another realm, Chongji Daozi won't stand a chance against you. Your self-preservation capabilities will increase dramatically. The Hidden Lord's enthusiasm surged. He instructed Li Wei to focus on cultivation, promising to handle all resource matters personally. Currently, the Immortal Realm experts from the major powers in the Lingxiao realm were convening, their greatest headache being the lack of a capable leader below the Immortal Realm to carry the banner. After much hesitation, Li Wei finally decided to reveal what he knew in Yao Qingshan's presence. Hidden Lord, I killed Li Songjian. Before he died, he said the great figure who betrayed the Zhu Li clan was the clan chief of the Yao Li tribe, subdued by the Coffin Mountain's Forbidden One when he was still alive. The Hidden Lord's expression shifted abruptly, his gaze snapping to Yao Qingshan. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel. Novel. The Primordial Law. Volume 5. Seeking Immortality in the Eastern Sea. Volume 5 Pinyin Donghai Xuan Xian. Chapter 33 470 8-star Spiritual Master. 33rd of Volume 5. Translator. Shadow Knight AK. Editor. Shadow Knight AK. Li Songjian was the Hidden Lord's elder brother. The Hidden Lord had long been aware of Li Songjian's actions but had refrained from acting to avoid alerting him, preferring to follow the trail to its source. Thus, learning that Li Wei had killed him stirred little emotion within him. He even secretly suspected that Li Wei might have deliberately killed Li Songjian, taking on the role of the villain to spare him the pain of fratricide. However, the revelation that Li Songjian and the clan chief of the Yao Li tribe were both traitors deeply shocked the Hidden Lord. The clan chief of the Yao Li tribe was not only a giant of the Immortal Realm but also a great Immortal Realm expert. Without a transcendent figure in the clan capable of absolute authority, how could they possibly deal with him in the absence of irrefutable evidence? What if Li Songjian had deliberately set a trap before his death? This incident could reignite internal strife within the Zhu Li tribe, which had only recently united. After a brief moment of solemnity, Yao Qingshan's expression returned to calm. Why are you looking at me? You're the Hidden Lord. Go investigate yourself. The hidden lord's gaze turned solemn. This matter is of grave importance. Though the forbidden one of Guanshan has fallen, Shufodu and Yang Shenjing still live. With the Rice Palace's support, the Twin Rice sect is using the Book of Radiant Stars to expand its territory in the southeastern Nether Realm. Their ambitions are boundless with their schemes certain. Now, dawn has broken over Old Yu Prefecture, dispelling the Netherworld's darkness and restoring light. Traveling west from Old Yu Prefecture, past Old Sand Prefecture where the White Desert lies, we reach Old Lin Prefecture along the Huang River. Further southwest lies Old Bin Prefecture, bordering Li Prefecture. The Twin Rice sect has long coveted the Ju Li tribe, the Blood Sea Coffin Dock, and the otherworldly coffin. I predict that Old Lin Prefecture and Old Bin Prefecture will soon regain their light, becoming part of the Twin Rice sect's living realm. At that point, Li Prefecture will be directly adjacent to their territory. If we fail to eliminate these hidden threats now, the consequences will be catastrophic. Old Yu Prefecture, Old Sand Prefecture, Old Lin Prefecture, and Old Bin Prefecture were 4 of the 272 prefectures swallowed by the Netherworld a millennium ago. Located in the southeastern Nether Realm, they border the 28 provinces of Lingxiao. The Hidden Lord departed to help Li Wei gather cultivation resources. The opportunity presented by the ancient immortal dragon remains, fiercely contested by those below the immortal realm, required a top-tier expert to oversee the proceedings. Acquiring resources was secondary, self-preservation was paramount. Without such protection, the Ju Li tribe's martial mystic cultivators would become easy prey, utterly defenseless against their enemies. Li Wei temporarily entrusted Yuer to Yao Qingshan's care. After setting up a formation within a wooden tower, he entered the blood-mud space. Beneath the Fusong divine tree's radiant glow, the phoenix blood trees, standing like pillars across the blood-soaked earth, sprouted fist-sized spore buds. These buds added a vibrant touch of life to the otherwise desolate landscape. Li Wei first traveled to Tanggu Sea, where he harvested a Zaihe flower. He then retrieved the 4,000-year-old 9 tribulation bamboo. One bamboo stalk was used to feed all 7 of the little 7 simultaneously. Whoosh! Activating the Tao Ancestor's Tai Chi fish, he wove a cocoon of time, enveloping all 7 creatures within its temporal embrace. The more living beings contained within the cocoon of time, the shorter its duration. Every advantage came with a drawback. Given the current state of the Moon Dragon Island sea market, Li Wei couldn't afford a prolonged seclusion anyway. Bringing the little 7 into the cocoon of time was the optimal method for rapidly enhancing their strength. If any of them reached the 7th heaven, their combat prowess would rival that of weaker 9th heaven martial mystic cultivators. More importantly, their innate abilities would advance to the next level, greatly benefiting Li Wei. Should they all reach the 8th or 9th heaven, Li Wei might even dare to assess the true power of the Rice Palace, which Tang Wanzhou and Lu Yi had described as unimaginably powerful. Li Wei sat cross-legged on the ground. He opened the iron box from the Buddhist shrine, bathing in the white radiance emanating from the page of the Book of Radiant Stars. Next, he retrieved the jade bottle containing the transcendent golden essence bone marrow. He could feel the terrifying heat radiating from within, even hotter than the nearby Zaihe, making it too scorching to approach. The power contained within is truly terrifying. A single drop of this marrow could probably pierce through a spiritual artifact. How could Li Wei dare to consume it so casually? Transcendent beings, especially those who had just died, possessed blood that could boil an entire pond. A single drop of golden essence bone marrow could undoubtedly melt earth into magma. Martial mystic cultivators in the Tao Seed realm cultivated the minor golden bone within their Tao bodies. The immortal body cultivated the great accomplishment golden bone, 10 times stronger than the minor golden bone. Transcendent bones, however, were known as immortal golden bones, surpassing even the great accomplishment golden bone by another tenfold. When it came to cultivation resources, higher rank wasn't always better. If the rank was too high, it might be unusable or too dangerous to use. Li Wei's gaze fell upon the Book of Radiant Stars before him. A thought struck him, and he carefully tilted the jade bottle, pouring a single drop of golden essence bone marrow onto the book's radiant white pages. Sizzle. The drop hissed like a drop of water landing on a scorching hot pan. The golden essence bone marrow boiled on the page, its golden light intertwining with the book's white radiance. Wisps of golden mist began to rise. Li Wei inhaled deeply, drawing the mist into his body. Finding the absorption too slow, he directly opened his divine pivot, ancestral field, and wind mansion acupoints, channeling the golden mist and radiant light into his innate world. From there, the veins and string meridians transported the energy throughout his body. Even the quality of his spiritual qi underwent a strange transformation. Within the cocoon of time, the little 7, having devoured the 9 tribulation bamboo, lay sprawled on the ground, greedily absorbing the golden mist. Time flowed on. Half a month passed within the cocoon. During this time, the Hidden Lord sent a vast quantity of millennial essence herbs, 5 true spiritual pills, and another portion of golden essence bone marrow, worth tens of millions of Xuanhuan coins, enough to make even great immortal cultivators green with envy. It was truly a massive investment. Each true spiritual pill was priced at around 1 million Xuanhuan coins. The Zhu tribe had reaped substantial gains from their attack on the southeastern Nether Realm, resulting in a large quantity of millennial essence herbs. Through the Hidden Lord's coordination and purchases, they acquired 7 essence medicines over 3,000 years old. Each of these was priceless, beyond the means of even ordinary Dao Seed Realm elders who emptied their entire fortunes. The Hidden Lords was unaware that the 7 phoenix-winged moth emperors were imperial grade, but even if they were merely Lord Marquis grade, once fully matured, they would still become 7 immortal realm powerhouses. Naturally, no effort was spared in nurturing them. Another half-month passed. Li Wei, whose psychic power was already at the peak of a 7-star spiritual master, refined his 3rd true spiritual pill. He felt the tricolored flame spiritual light in his spirit realm intensify to its limit, burning fiercely like a seething sea of fire. He then retrieved the spirit platform blazing star stone and absorbed it into his spirit realm. Controlling all the tricolored flame spirit light, he converged it toward the spirit platform blazing star stone, condensing his 8th psychic power star. 12 hours later. Li Wei was bathed in radiant light, a series of dazzling concentric circles appearing between his brows. Within the spirit realm, the 8 psychic power stars revolved, each growing simultaneously in size and brilliance. Since he began absorbing the radiant energy from the Book of Radiant Stars and condensing psychic power stars using the spirit platform blazing star stone, the process had become remarkably easier. What had once been a sense of resistance now felt like an active gathering. The radiant energy of Fusong and the golden crow represented the ultimate yang, the essence of daylight. In contrast, the starlight from the Book of Radiant Stars embodied the yin, a soft, gentle radiance that was part of the night. When these two forces combined, the yin and yang of heaven and earth harmonized, the Tai Chi rotated, and Li Wei's psychic power naturally ascended to a higher level. As a 5-star spiritual master, Li Wei's combat prowess, unleashed through his psychic power spiritual light, had only been comparable to inheritors of the same cultivation realm. Now, he could even contend with the young heavenly emperor, who shared his realm. With sufficient preparations, talisman, formations, puppets, and other psychic techniques, he felt utterly fearless. Boom. The Fusong divine tree light shadow rose behind Li Wei, shattering the cocoon of time. The tree's shadow towered dozens of zhang high, its branches lush with foliage, and its form permeated with flowing strands of flame and radiant light. It seemed to breathe in sync with Li Wei, rhythmically drawing in the radiant energy of the Fusong divine tree from the Tanggu Sea. This energy transformed into rivers of light, surging into the space between his brows. Each psychic power star shone brighter than before. The destructive energy contained within Li Wei's spiritual flames had reached a new level, rivaling the power of a fully mastered 3rd-tier Great Flame technique. In contrast, the 6-fold samsara burning karma technique remained at the minor accomplishment stage of the 3rd tier. At my current cultivation realm as an 8-star spiritual master, combined with the special power of my flame spiritual light, merging psychic power and martial mystic power to unleash the 6-fold samsara burning karma technique would undoubtedly rival the power of a 3rd-tier imperial technique. If I could cultivate the 3rd tier of the 6-fold samsara burning karma technique to great accomplishment, then merge psychic power and martial mystic power, how much stronger would its power become? At this thought, the image of Huoxin flashed through Li Wei's mind. He yearned to clash with Huoxin's legendary 4th-tier blazing ember divine flame. If he could defeat Huoxin and seize his blazing ember divine flame, refining it into the 6-fold samsara burning karma technique, he could surely achieve great accomplishment in the 3rd tier. At that point, harnessing the momentum of mastering the 3rd-tier great technique, he could condense a Dao fruit and instantly ascend to the 7th heaven of the martial mystic path. The 6-fold samsara burning karma technique's manual clearly stated, 3rd tier, karmic fire transformation, directly breaking through to the Dao fruit. The Western monster race will undoubtedly send Ember Spirit experts to Moondragon Island. Defeating even one would allow me to cultivate the 3rd tier of the 6-fold samsara burning karma technique, Li Wei mused inwardly, weighing which faction to target first. After all, both sides were enemies. Compared to the Western monster race, Huoxin posed a far greater threat. His strength surpassed even Chongji Daozi's. Though Li Wei had encountered him twice, Huoxin had barely revealed his true power, leaving an impression of unfathomable depth. Being inseparable from Junxin, he undoubtedly possessed formidable trump cards. Even an assassination attempt would have a negligible chance of success. Over the past month, the 7 phoenix-winged moth emperors had broken through to the 7th heaven, their bodies growing significantly larger. Calling them the Little Seven no longer seemed appropriate. They were also refining their physical bodies, their physical strength increasing dramatically. Each membranous wing now possessed the sharpness of a spiritual artifact battle sword. With my psychic power reaching the 8th stars, I can finally face inheritors of the 9th heaven without relying solely on physical strength. The combat power unleashed by my psychic power will be no less formidable than that of my physical body. Li Wei's golden bone had advanced to 60% of the immortal body's strength in just 1 month. The strength of his tendons and skin had surpassed 60% as well. To reach 70% strength in such a short time, he needed to break through his martial mystic path cultivation. By leveraging the transformative effects of a breakthrough on his physical body, he could achieve rapid advancement. Yao Qingshan and the Hidden Lord hadn't disturbed him, indicating that the Calamity Crossing Temple, Rice Palace, and Demon Clan hadn't yet begun excavating the ancient immortal dragon remains. This matter was of utmost importance, requiring thorough preparation. Li Wei consumed his 4th true spiritual pill and wove another cocoon of time. Within the cocoon, he repaired the formation lotus platform while simultaneously inscribing new divine swiftness talismans onto it. His goal was to further enhance the platform's speed. As an 8-star spiritual master, the divine swiftness talismans he inscribed would undoubtedly surpass their previous iterations in speed. Blank. End of chapter. Subscribe to the MTL World at Malworld 1 YouTube channel.